Yo, what is going on, you guys? Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Today we do episode number 2 of our Nintendo Eshop Trash or Treasure series, and we are going to be looking at a game called Willy Jetman, Astromonkey's Revenge. Now I know what you're thinking, but before you judge it, watch this video because you might be surprised by the result. So let's get into it. Willy Jetman Astromonkey's Revenge is a retro-style 2D platformer. You play as Willy Jetman, whose job is to collect trash and bring it to the recycling centers. Along the way, you face tough enemies and run into many boss battles and unexpected twists and turns that make you want to keep playing. The game starts out with Willy in the future. You end up battling a boss with weapons and upgrades that you have by the end of the game. After defeating this boss, you go back in time, which happens to be just a few days before that, where you begin your journey and start from scratch. You also get a small glimpse into the Astromonkey's reason for being on this planet. Putting 2 and 2 together, you figure out that the trash you're recycling is actually from the Astromonkey spaceship. Now I know you're probably listening to this and thinking, just from this plot line, I would never in a million years touch this game. You're probably thinking it was written by a bunch of elementary school kids, and honestly, you might not be so wrong about that, but I actually feel that this is one of its greatest strengths. One thing that this game does a great job at doing is not taking itself too seriously. I don't mind watching any of the cutscenes or anything like that because I actually find myself laughing, and maybe it's because I appreciate stupid humor. If you watch Nacho Libre and you laughed at any point during that movie, then you'd probably agree with me on this point. They also throw out little nods to other games. There's this one boss battle that definitely gives you old school Donkey Kong vibes, because there's literally a monkey throwing barrels down a ramp. While there are levels in this game, you really don't feel like you're leaving one level and entering another. You kind of just feel like you're moving from one part of the story to the next part of the story. And I feel like that's a really good strength in this game. This game really distinguishes itself apart from other retro-style 2D platformers because it adds a leveling and upgrading system. When you defeat enemies, they drop what they call gravitonium gems. These gems are essentially just the currency in the game. You can use these gems to upgrade your weapons. Along the way, you find new weapons that can help you more easily take down a group of enemies. You also find power-ups and gear that help make the journey a little bit easier. There's one point in the game where you have to go find some scuba gear in order to move through water easier. There's a point where you run across a magnet which helps you pick up the gems easier. Like many other games, there's collectibles, and these collectibles are called idols. These idols can actually be used to unlock new weapons, find new gear, or get more gravitonium gems. And yes, you sell these idols at a place called the Peach Store. Again, this game does not take itself too seriously. However, don't be fooled by the goofiness of the game because this is actually one challenging experience. There were certain bosses that I had to redo over and over and over again before I was actually successfully able to defeat it. I absolutely love video games that offer me a challenge. There is nothing worse to me than playing a game I spent money on and I breeze through it without breaking a sweat. And that is not a problem that I find with this one. At first it took me a second to figure out how to best control the character as well as figure out how to use both the jetpack and shoot at enemies. But because of how smooth the gameplay is, you can get this down pretty easily without too much trouble. With that being said, some of the weapons you find along the way allow you to aim and shoot, but I found this mechanic pretty difficult because the mechanics didn't work super well, so I usually ended up going back to one of the simpler weapons that I had already previously found. Like I mentioned in my previous Trash or Treasure episode, price point is definitely a big factor for me when it comes to reviewing games. At retail price, this game comes out to $14.99 US. And for me, I have to say that this is well worth the price for the quality and length of the game. I would definitely put Willy Jetman Astromonkey's Revenge on my eShop treasure list. It may be early in the year, but I think this is a front runner for Indie Game of the Year. It's seriously that good. This game runs great, has a great price point, and there's enough going on in the game when it comes to upgrades and leveling that I found myself wanting to dive deeper and deeper into this game as I progress. Thanks again for watching, you guys. If you ended up picking up this game, tell me what you guys thought about it down below in the comments section. If you missed the previous video of our Nintendo Eshop Trash or Treasure series, you can find the link somewhere in this vicinity of the screen. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure and leave it a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.